What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, good.
We live now?
We live. We live in effect. We official.
Yeah, well, this is just going to be a laid-back situation, man. Just going to ask you some questions
Okay.
about your career, man, in photography and specifically videography, so creating videos.
Okay, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How did you start with creating videos?
Well, looking back on my life, I think it was something I always was kind of drawn towards.
Okay.
I can even remember in high school, I would always just kind of, whenever I could, kind of want to bring something with dealing with videos or movies or TVs or something, editing into my life. So, but I didn't realize it until I looked back and thought on it. But the main part that really made me know I wanted to do videos was actually when I was in college. I went to FAMU, so you know, go Rattlers, you know, Rattlers strike. So you know, I went there, and you know, it's a college town, so lots of times things can get boring, nothing to do. So I was always had a crazy imagination. So I just decided one day, like, why don't I got all this time, let me just write down my ideas. So I started writing out a short story. I got with a guy then, because I wanted to get it filmed, so then I got with a guy who was doing weddings at the time to kind of work with him and teach me how to use the camera. So it just started with that, weddings, and it just took off from there, man.
I got you. At what point did you end up going into actually creating film? So with a storyline, like a short film, how did you get into that?
Well, to me, anything that you do with video is a story. So even I would say even when I was doing with the weddings, you know, I was always trying to tell a story of that, if not their relationship that day, you know, that moment, you know. But probably my first short film was the one I was writing at the time when I was bored in college. And it was, I think it was called Life's Precious. You know, I mean, it was my first film, so I can't really expect much from it, but it was essentially about, you know, two brothers, two family members. One was kind of wanting to go down the wrong way, and there was one who already been down that road and was like, hey, you don't want to do that. You know, why don't you try this? So, you know, it was just got a bunch of non-actors together, and we just kind of went out there, filmed it. You know, some of them were actors, but it was my first time, and I'm not excited to show anybody it, but you know, it was the start of something big.
I understand. So kind of like on the same lines of that question is, do you have a preference? Do you go into documentaries, or do you exclusively do short films, fictional, non-fictional? What's kind of like your niche?
I don't know if I necessarily, sometimes my niche changes with, I guess, I don't want to say what I'm doing at the time. But maybe short film. I know eventually that's what I want to do. I just want to do, like, if I could only do one thing, it would be short films, like telling my own story. So
I got you.
So I'll have to say then short films.
Okay. And you all check out his channel on YouTube, Jason U. Brown. He has a lot of instructional videos on cameras, the different equipment that you need. Check out his channel, and he has a lot of very inspirational information and helpful information if you're looking into going into video creation. Let me ask you this. With the short films and documentaries that you've already done, do you like to collaborate? Have you collaborated with other people, and how is that aspect of creating films?
Yeah, I definitely know that collaboration is really what's going to drive anything with films, you know. So my last project I did, my wife actually starred in it, but it was a short film, and with that one, it was all collaborative. Like I had two people on the set kind of filming and directing. Then I had another guy scoring it and everything. You know, I wrote the story. I kind of had the outline of how I wanted everything to go. So the guys on set, I already talked to them ahead of time, like, hey, this is kind of what we're looking for, what I want to do. And when we got on set, they just kind of just drove the show. You know, they brought their own ideas, and that's, you know, definitely just made it better. You know what I mean? So, but that's that's even kind of difficult when you write a story and like it's yours.
Right.
You know, that's your baby. You don't want to let it go.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want people, you know, straying off too far, or you think they might mess it up.
Right.
But can't do it all on your own.
Right.
You have to collaborate.
Right.
And it just came out so much better that way.
Collaborating.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: when you are doing those films, do you have a particular position that you like to do? Are you more of a director or producer? Can you kind of explain that to people out there that may not know the difference between a director and a producer?
Okay. Well, for me, I definitely.
Excuse this noise, you know, they're having a little festival here, so.
Yeah.
Excuse the noise. We're working through it.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to see if they're gonna pick it up. Okay, so, yeah, you can, yeah. So what, so a producer could be kind of anything.
Okay.
You know, a producer could be someone who just, you know, supplies the funds for it, like, hey, just, you know, they could be very hands-off, or they could be very hands-on.
Right.
You know, it just kind of depends on that producer and what they kind of want to do.
Right.
Me, I think since I'm more of an introvert, I probably steer towards more of writing and editing, especially editing.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people in general would tell you in film is that editing is where like the story is truly told, you know, because that's when you put things together, and it's also where you leave stuff out, you know, because not everything, maybe on set, people were thinking, oh, this is going to be the shot, this is going to be the money maker, but then when you get into the editing booth, sometimes things don't really gel, really fit, and sometimes the editor can just see something that, you know, maybe they didn't see on set, you know, and just pick a random shot, but just fits perfectly for that scene. So I definitely feel like editing is what I steer towards to most.
Okay. Kind of like going back to your beginnings. I know you say you were in college when you started doing your video creation. Were you actually majoring in film or theater or something like that, or how was that?
Nah, I wish, man. My major was actually accounting.
Okay.
So the furthest thing from video filmmaking.
Right.
But I did, you know, try to get a minor in communications.
Okay.
So I was still trying to be involved with it.
Right.
But I definitely most of my stuff is hands-on, just
self-taught,
basically.
Watching other people. Okay. And that tells you, man, that, you know, when you're in life, you may have a path that you think you're going to go to, and you may go down that path, but, you know, as you grow and experience other things, you may want to, you know, do other things. So he's an example of go for your passions, do what you love, and, you know, at the end, people are going to see that. So,
definitely.
Let me ask you one more question. Where do you see yourself in video creation? What would be your ultimate goal? I know you said you wanted to, you know, create more films, motion films, fictional stuff, more documentaries, science, sci-fi type of films.
Yeah.
You know, where would you want to go?
Definitely fictional stuff that tells a story but serves a purpose, you know.
Right.
I look at some films like Get Out, you know.
Wow.
I mean, that was a great commentary on race in America, but he told it in a way where it was just, one, it was outside the box.
Right, it really was.
And two, it wasn't like your typical preachy, you know, films that you see out there. So I really want to make great films that tell important, needed, not just positive information, but like things that like move people in the right direction, like have something to say, you know.
With a message in it.
Exactly.
Is it a person out there, and you may not even have one? Is it a person like a Key and Peele or something like that, or, you know, not necessarily a comedian, but a filmmaker, a film creator that you would like to, you know, work with if you reach that type of level?
Wow. Man, it's difficult, man, because Jordan Peele would be someone, you know, I like his style. I like how he he just tells amazing stories, you know.
Right.
Yes, it's tough to say, but definitely anyone out there like who films have a message.
Right.
It's a film that you can watch that is just not like, and not to downgrade those older, you know, black movies, but it was almost just strictly to the point. Like, it wasn't like,
didn't have to think too much about
it was just like, you know, like someone would come on the screen and they'll literally preach to you.
Right.
You know, you see this drug store out, you see this liquor store out here, you know. But I like how those films, they do social commentary with
commentary. That's what I was about to say. It's commentary, man. It's really interesting. Like you said with Get Out and a lot of those other films, man, that's dealing with a lot of subjects that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but he did it in a very clever way, man.
He did.
And, you know, people rave about his film. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you coming here to talk with me, man, just to ask some questions about,
no problem,
about your career, and we're just looking forward to seeing you do great things, man, as you come up and make your mark on the industry.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. You said to check in the mail, right? I'm just going to check it every 1st and 15th. Okay, I got you. Appreciate it. No. All right, please.
All right.
You got everything you needed? Or?
I think so, man.
Okay.